EDU216, welcome to another module. This week we're going to jump in with some really important content. We're going to talk specifically about a whole bunch of different concepts that are interwoven together, but they also are very essential to understand as standalone topics as beginning teachers. For example, we're going to start this week by talking about the explicit curriculum and the implicit curriculum that we find in our classrooms today. We've talked a little bit about the implicit curriculum. Remember that that's sometimes referred to as that hidden curriculum. It refers to the lessons that students take from teachers' attitudes, the school environment, and the things that we don't directly try to teach, but students learn from being in the social settings of our schools. Then we're going to also look at the explicit curriculum a bit more in depth this week. That is that curriculum that the teacher plans really intentionally ahead of time, and that is what we're actually teaching. The teacher's going to make those lesson plans, but they're also going to think about the entire environment that they are creating in a classroom. So we're not going to talk so much about that method of delivery, but rather that classroom environment that's going to support our learners. We're also going to cover a little bit of information about what the research says about how our brains work best, what environments help us to take in and engage in authentic learning environments. Additionally, this week we'll be looking at the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. It's an official set of academic standards that are used across the public schools in the state of North Carolina, and they help to outline or guide us in what students should be able to do by the end of that grade level. It's their set of mastery goals, we might say. Now, I want to remind you as you look at this standard course of study that this is ultimately the end goal for every student. You will meet them where they are at in their learning trajectory, and you will help them to get to that standard, that goal. It's very important that each of us feels comfortable navigating these standard course of study objectives. It can be awkward sometimes navigating these text-heavy documents with lots of numbers and letters, but I want you to take the initial step this week of jumping in and finding your way around. Oftentimes when we have required resources, appointed to us through our schools or by the county, we will find these standards embedded in those materials, but it is also important if you do not have a textbook, say, or some given curriculum, that you know where to go and find the expectations for the grade level that you are planning to teach, and that you can actually think about, in order for a student to gain mastery of this skill set, here's what I'm going to do. So take some time this week to explore the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. As you look at everything, if there's anything that I can do to support your learning or help you dig deeper, explain things better, please don't hesitate to reach out. I do love chatting with each and every one of you, and I'm here to support your learning and your pathway success. So don't hesitate. Have a wonderful week, everyone.